Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about my top 10 favorite highlighters. I have 5 drugstore highlighters and 5 high-end highlighters. Highlighters are my favorite makeup product ever, and I have tried many and tested many extensively, so I thought I would share my favorites with you all today. I'm going to try to move through them quickly because I feel like if I try to go too in-depth, I'll just repeat myself so much. I'm going to start off with the Melt Digital Dust Highlighter in the shade Stargazer. This is pretty much just a true champagne highlight, and in terms of finish, it's pretty middle of the road. It's not super metallic, but it's not really a satin. It's kind of the perfect in between. It's really beautiful for every day. It's not overwhelming or overpowering, and I don't know if you'll be able to see. It's not overwhelming or overpowering, but it just makes your skin look so glowy and naturally healthy. And it's the perfect champagne shade where it's not too light that if you have a medium skin tone, you won't be able to wear it, but you can also get away with it if you're pale like I am. The next highlighter on the roster is the ColourPop Super Shock Cheek Highlighter in the shade Flexitarian. This is raved about here on YouTube for very good reason. It's really beautiful. This almost is a glossy highlight in terms of its finish. When you actually put it on your cheeks, it literally makes your cheeks look wet. It's so blinding and so beautiful, and it just makes your cheeks look so intense. It's definitely not for the faint of heart, but it's really stunning. You definitely can sheer this out and make it a more sheer wash of color, and it's gonna make your cheeks just look really glossy and almost editorial looking, or you can build it up and get a really intense, almost metallic finish. I love the ColourPop highlighters in general. I also want to mention the ColourPop Innuendo Pressed Powder Highlighter Palette. I think this is so stunning. It's more versatile because Flexitarian is quite a bright shade. It doesn't have a ton of back pigment, but it's definitely on the fairer side, whereas you have more shade options with this. Again, it has a really glossy, wet almost finish on the cheeks. I think you definitely can't go wrong with any shade of the ColourPop highlighters. I also love the ColourPop and Disney Villains highlighter in the shade Maleficent. Oh no, it's the Maleficent collab. I can't remember what the actual shade name is, but that is stunning as well. If you to kind of get a wider range of tones and shades. The next highlight is the MAC Extra Dimension Skin Finish in the shade Double-Gleam. Similarly to the Flexitarian highlighter, this doesn't have a ton of back pigment. You just kind of get the reflection or the reflectivity of the highlighter. It's also more of a glossy finish, less intense than the ColourPop one, but you just kind of see the light, almost silver reflect, and it's not a really metallic, almost eyeshadow formula. It's just glossy, and it just makes your cheeks look glossy, like almost like you put a gloss on them. It's not going to be super metallic or super intense. It's really beautiful. It's what I'm wearing on my cheeks today. You probably can't see it because this lighting is not the best, but if you're looking for a glossy almost highlighter that's not going to be super metallic, but you still get a lot of reflection, I would definitely recommend this. The next highlight is the Pixie Glowy Gossamer Duo in the shade Delicate Dew. I've been absolutely loving this as of late. This is a little bit darker. It has more of a pink shift to it. There are obviously 2 shades here. I personally tend to focus on the lighter pink shade. I do like to mix them. The deeper shade is a bit too dark for me, but I think this would be pretty versatile across a wider range of skin tones. This is ultra metallic. It doesn't have really any sparkle or shimmer at all. It's just pure metallic. It looks so beautiful. I used it in my last video, but it's just so intense. If you're looking for a really intense highlight, I would definitely recommend this as well. Definitely has a stronger back pigment. You're gonna get a bit more of the pink tone to this one, but again, really recommend. This is kind of mid-range in terms of pricing. It's about $24 Canadian, so it's not super affordable. It's not the most affordable option at the drugstore, but you're also not paying 40, 50 bucks for a highlight. Next up is the Diamond Glow Powder in the shade Coco Bling by Couture. Out of all of the highlighters I'm going to talk about, this is definitely the most unique and the most special in my personal opinion. This has a really fine shimmer to it. So it definitely is sparkly, especially when you look up close. And the way that the sparkle hits the light, you just get such a beautiful glow that it doesn't look sparkly. Again, it's almost like a glossy, wet looking finish. Next is the Maybelline Master Chrome Highlighter, and this is the shade Molten Rose Gold. It's definitely harder to find a shade in this line of highlighters if you have fair skin, but this I find does work for me. It looks like it's going to have a really strong rosy pigment, but I find when you actually buff this onto your skin, it has a pretty strong, almost silver shift to it so that it doesn't look overly deep. If you build this up, it definitely can give you a bit of a like pinky cast, but I find that I can make this workable for me, and it's just so stunning. This is a pretty traditional metallic highlighter formula. Almost, it's thick, almost like the texture of an eyeshadow, so it's really it's gonna be intense. It might emphasize texture, but it's absolutely gorgeous, very reflective. In direct contrast to the price of the Maybelline one I just talked about, next is the Natasha-Nonna Super Glow Duochrome Highlighter. I don't know why I have the shade 01 Fair, but like I was saying, I don't know why this is called a duochrome highlighter, because there's nothing duochrome about it. It's just absolutely stunning. This is really special. It is really expensive. It's Natasha-Nonna, but I think it's worth it. It doesn't have a ton of back pigment either. It kind of just gives a beautiful wet looking finish. I'm getting redundant, but that tends to be my favorite kind of finish of highlighters. It's again a true champagne shade, not overly pink, not overly gold, kind of right in the middle. It looks so glowy and beautiful on your cheeks, but it's still really reflective and intense. It's like the perfect marriage between a really reflective metallic highlighter and a like glowy glow from within highlighter. It's like somehow Natasha-Nonna managed to merge those two genres of highlighters together, and it's so beautiful. The next highlighter is the Milani Instant Glow Powder in the shade 01 Afterglow. I would say this is an affordable alternative to the Natasha-Nonna highlighter. It's definitely not a dupe, but it has a similar feel. This is similar to the Maybelline highlighter in that it's a really dense highlighter, almost an eyeshadow formula, and it has more of a back pigment to it. When I first started using this, I truly thought that I would never need another highlighter again. It's so beautifully glorious. Champagne shade again, doesn't lean pink, doesn't lean yellow. How many times can I repeat that? Has more of a back pigment to it, so it's less glossy and a bit more metallic. Again, though, a really beautiful highlighter option for the drugstore. The next affordable highlight that I have is the Wet n Wild Highlighting Powder in the shade Blossom Glow. This is very much a pink highlight. It's a light, almost icy pink. Definitely if you have medium to deeper skin tones, you wouldn't, I think, maybe be able to pull this off as easily, but if you're looking for a pink highlight, this is so beautiful. It's definitely, again, a metallic finish, more thick. There's not much else I can say about it other than it's absolutely stunning. And the last highlight that I have here today is sadly limited edition. It's the Anastasia and Amrezy highlighter, but I just thought I would throw it in here really quickly because it is one of my top favorite highlights. It's probably one of the first gold highlights that is actually a gold that I can get away with wearing on my skin. I think this is one of the few highlighters that I've ever come across that I truly believe will work for pretty much every skin tone. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's, again, similar to the Natasha-Nonna highlight, a perfect marriage of a metallic highlight that makes you look really glowy and isn't just like a metallic eyeshadow, basically. It's so beautiful. If you can get your hands on it, I would say that it's worth picking it up, but I'm not going to ramble on because sadly it's not available. Anastasia, bring it back. And I'm going to throw in an honorable mention because it's not a single highlighter, but it is one of my favorite highlighting products, and this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Sugar Glow Kit. It's probably one of my favorite highlighter formulas ever. And in terms of price, it is a palette, but I think it's $50 Canadian, whereas some of the highlights that I've talked about have been close to that and they're singles. So in terms of your value for money, I really, really rate this, and I think if you're looking for a new highlighter, check this out. Again, it's a more metallic, thicker texture. It's almost like an eyeshadow, but it's really stunning. This marshmallow shade and this starburst shade are my favorites. They look so beautiful and glowy on the skin. This marshmallow shade is definitely more yellow. It's very strongly yellow toned, and this starburst one is obviously a lighter pink shade. This gumdrop and butterscotch shade, these two right here, are a bit deeper. I find that I have to finesse them a bit more, mix them with the two lighter shades to get them to work for me. And they have specks of glitter in them. Quite large specks of glitter, which is really unfortunate. I truly have no idea why Anastasia would do that because the other two formulas are so perfect, but it doesn't super bother me. I know it bothers some people, so I thought it was definitely worth mentioning. One of my favorite highlighting palettes or highlighting products, highlighters that I've ever used. Love it. Okay everyone, well that concludes this video. Thanks for tuning in yet again. Stay tuned for more of my content that I'm going to be putting out. I'm really excited, and thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.